most of the time when you are applying for a new job, one of the questions you are going to be asked in an interview is, what are your strengths and weaknesses? There's actually a reason why hiring manager are asking this question, and that is to test if you are self-aware. Self-awareness is a skill that every professional needs to develop, because it helps you to know your strengths, your weaknesses, and areas where you need to improve on. And hiring manager want to know this to be able to know if you are self-aware, if you you truly know yourself and you think you be a best candidate for the role. And that is why they are asking you. And answering this question can be a bit technical and dicey. The thing is, when it comes to answering question about your strengths, you have to focus on skills, on strengths, on qualities that will enhance your ability to do the job very well. You are applying for an IT support role. One of the skills you can mention is problem solving, resilience, not giving up until you find solution to something. You are applying for a data analysis role. One of the skills you can mention is problem solving, analytical thinking ability. And you don't just mention this skill alone, take it to the context, like make it in context, like cite instances on how you've been able to leverage this skill to solve problem, how you've been able to leverage this skill to perform better in your role, and how this skill will even enhance your ability to deliver better. There was a time I was applying for a training manager role, and they asked me what are my strengths. I told them I'm a good facilitator and public speaker, because one of those things that will make me perform better as a training manager is being a public speaker. I won't have any issue addressing the whole congregation, like the participants, the training participants. And that is something you should look for. On the other side, when it now comes to the part of the weaknesses, there's one rule of the thumb, is that whatever thing you are going to mention, don't mention something that will automatically disqualify you from the role. Because I cannot imagine you applying for customer service role and they now ask you what are your weaknesses. You now said, I get angry easily. Get angry easily in a customer service role is not going to work, because people are going to frustrate you, and if you get angry easily, you are going to destroy the company's reputation. So you are definitely shooting yourself in the feet by saying that. So whatever it is that you are going to say, make sure it is something that will not affect you from performing well in the role. You are applying for a junior data analysis role, they ask you for your weaknesses. You can always say something like, I find it difficult to delegate, because I don't there is a certain level of expectation I expect from people, and when they don't meet up, and because of this, it's usually difficult for me to delegate my tasks to other people. You are not a manager, you are not in a role where you are going to delegate. So that is not likely to affect you in any way. In my own case, there's one thing I use my advantage to the negative side. For my weakness, I also mention my strength and now interpret it into the negative side. Let me show you how I do it. When they ask me, what are your weaknesses? One of those things that I always say is I pay excessive attention to details. Like, this could be the fact that I've added excessive to it. So, and the implication of this is the fact that I usually take more time doing some things, because of the fact that I'm usually very meticulous. So, and this is something I'm working on. I understand the fact that nothing can be 100% perfect, and I'm trying to improve on it. Another thing you have to do is you have to emphasize the fact that you are improving on it. Emphasize the fact that you are trying to improve on it. Because the fact is that you are a human being, you cannot be perfect, but there is always room for improvement. So whatever it is that you are going to mention as your weakness, make sure it is something that will not directly hurt you from getting the job, and and always give room for the fact that you are trying to improve on it. All the best.